Alright, so what's up, guys? Shattered Candy here. You already know what it is. First of all, I want to thank y'all for tuning in. I decided to do a little bit of a different episode today because, where else can you have a nice outdoor day, poolside? It's really nice weather in the middle of, not in the middle, but in the beginning of December. Where else can you get that but in Texas? So I figured, I'd take advantage of it. It's really nice outside. As you can see, I'm sitting poolside. If you guys are wondering about the shirt, if you are, it's merch that I'm going to be putting out soon. So, just to get that out of the way. But how you guys doing? This episode is going to be a little different. I want to talk about an experience that I had this year, before the year ends. Kind of want to go out with a bang. I want to let everybody know what it was like to actually get out of the comfort zone. That being said, I'm talking about the time that I went to Alaska. Let me tell you a little bit of how it was a blessing and a curse. It was a blessing in every sense because of the traveling, the experience. I had already traveled other places, but I had never ever dreamed of even going to as far as Alaska or even Seattle. You have to get to Seattle before you get to Alaska. And the reason why it was a curse as well is because I was away from family. I missed out on some family moments, some important moments. I have children in school, and you miss a lot of things when you go out to work out of state. If any of y'all done that, you know what I'm talking about. And the experience was great. I was doing quality control for salmon season, processing 2 types of caviar and 5 types of salmon. I was basically seeing that everybody was safe, everybody was wearing their equipment, and I was shipping out frozen fish to all parts of the world. I got into that because I was doing sushi for 3 years, and I wanted to see where the fish that I was serving was coming from. And so, lo and behold, it led me to Alaska. You use a lot of ferries over there. There's not that many roads. When you get to Ketchikan, it's the first city of Alaska. As soon as you get there, you start seeing mountains. It's very different. You start feeling the altitude sickness because you're not used to being so high up. We're used to being here. Texas is so flat. So, you get dizzy out of nowhere sometimes. The food is very different. I got to try some bear. I got to try halibut. That's a type of fish. It's like a giant flounder. I made good money. I was staying in Prince of Wales Island, and to get there you have to catch a ferry. It's about 3 hours into the ocean. It's a boat ride. It's a big boat, and you transport cars, a lot of families. You get to see a lot of marine life. Got to see whales and seals. It's something out of National Geographic, man. Really, really nice. Words can't explain how I feel when you see that. When you see how big nature is, how it engulfs you, you understand that out there nature is king. It truly, truly is. Mother Nature reigns supreme in places like that. You have no say or judgment, and you don't know what can happen. There's tsunami signs, there's bear signs. Really, really interesting. You can literally see bears eating salmon on the sides of the islands as you're traveling. And I thought that was really freaking awesome. A lot of kids, a lot of families. But anyway, I was in charge of orientating this group of Salvadorians, and I was exposed to a lot of cultures, a lot of different Ukrainians, a lot of Russians, a lot of Chinese, a lot of Asians, a lot of different religions, different cultures. Sometimes they would clash, and I would have to, as quality control specialist, I would have to act as a mediator, to get everybody kind of to get along. It's part of the process when you're out there alone and you don't have any family. It's difficult. It really is, to keep your cool. Some of them quit on the first week. Some quit on the first month. Some people just say, I just want to make $5,000 and get the heck out of here. And that's perfectly fine. But I mean, the more you stay, the longer you stay, the more money you make, obviously, and the more experience you get, and the more likely you are to get rehired if you ever were to go back. Now, here comes the cursed part, because when I came back, I saw how capped my growth was at the company that I was working at. As a sushi chef, I wasn't seeing eye to eye with some of the other chefs. I had a clash with them, with management. I tried to introduce different ideas. If any of y'all kept up with my personal profile, y'all know that my dishes weren't worth $8, $9, $10 an hour anymore. I was worth way more now, especially that I knew where the salmon was coming from. Salmon is a big part of sushi, if any of y'all know what sushi is. So, and I know how to handle exotic fish now. I know how to keep everything in temperature. I know how to do a lot of things. So that's besides the point. Also, another thing that was really, really awesome that caught me off guard was on my flight back from Portland to Houston. I was sitting, I was already ready to sleep because if you know about jet lag, it's really, really bad. So you can't rest no matter how much you sleep when you're on a plane or on an airport, especially if your flight's delayed. You know what I'm talking about. Although there are some airports and some cities that are really fun, and there's stuff nearby that you can do. You can take Ubers nearby. Some cities are legal, if you know what I'm talking about, and that's pretty fun. Seattle is pretty fun. But so yeah, I was sitting there on my flight ready to head back to Houston, and I was sitting there kind of just daydreaming, dozing off, when all of a sudden I see Mr. the one and only Juan Gotti. And as he was walking by, I was like, is that him? And that can't be him. You know, that it's impossible. How can you bump into someone like that? And to me, I grew up with Juan Gotti and SPM. Despite the allegations that there are around SPM, I really respect and support his music. Shout out to SPM and the Dope House family. But yeah, so I wasn't expecting to see somebody that big in my book to be writing like that. So chill, super humble. And I looked up and I say, Mr. Gotti, is that you? And he looks at me and he says, yeah, what's up, man? And I'm like, hey, I'm a big fan, Mr. Gotti. It's an honor to meet you. It's a pleasure. And he says, all right, man, likewise. And he goes and he takes a seat, right? And I'm there still kind of startled, but anyway, the plane takes off and I start dozing off. I go to sleep. When I land, immediately I thought, okay, I have to do this. I have to get his attention. I have to get a picture, a video, or something, man. I got to see this person after the flight. So we head out. You know, it's a little crowded because people are antsy and ready to get out, ready to just get wherever they want to go, wherever they're ready to go. And I exit the plane and I go into the lobby and I'm waiting. And then finally he comes out. And I say, hey, Mr. Gotti, you know, can I take a picture with you? I'm a really big fan. I've always been a big fan. And I actually have the video. I talk about it a lot, but I have uploaded it. I can upload it again. I have pictures also. And I tell him, you know, can you please shout out to the 956? And he's cool about it. He's super cool about it. He says, yeah, you know, shout out to Bronzo, shout out to the 956. And, you know, peace. So before he leaves, I give him. I had gone to a dispensary in Alaska before I left. Went to the dispensary and I got a bunch of souvenirs, beanie, some goodies, if you know what I mean. But I was like, you know what? Here, Mr. Gotti, I want you to have this. This is it's what I have that I can give you right now. You know, I want you to have this, and if you keep it, that'd be really great. He's like, all right, man, thanks. You know, I appreciate that. And yeah, that was an awesome experience. I actually messaged him about Shattered Candy coming into play, telling him that I wanted to interview him. He said, hell yeah, definitely hit me up. But I know that he's a busy man. He's doing tattoos now. He's doing producing. I'm not gonna lie to you. It's not like I can call him and be like, "Hey, Mr. Gotti, what's up? How's it going? Let's go out for dinner or something." It's not like that. I met him once. I messaged him, and I recently shared one of his tattoo videos, and he liked it. He reacted to that video. So shout out to Mr. Gotti. Really appreciate how you acted with me at the airport. Really humble, really awesome experience. And with that being said, guys, I'm gonna cut it short. It's just something. Oh, before I forget, so while I was working over there, this is a pelvic area, the pelvic bone of a seal, I believe. Must be a small seal. You can still kind of smell the bone in it, kind of gamey. Still has barnacles. This washed up on the shore behind the campground where I was, and I thought really that it was interesting. And TSA stopped me and they were like, "What is this?" And I told them, oh, it's a bone. I understand that if I can't take it on my luggage, I have to throw it away or whatever. But it just so happened that the TSA agent was a bone enthusiast, and she's like, "Oh, you know what? You can go ahead and just take it. It's okay. It's no problem. There's actually still a little bit of flesh and blood on it." Yeah, but it's just something that I wanted to share with y'all. These rocks that I have here, they may seem insignificant to a lot of people, to most, but they are really important to me. They represent a struggle, and they represent adventure. I got these from the top of a mountain. I actually have a video where I'm drinking out of a natural stream from the mountain because snow is always flowing up there. It snows up there, it rains up there, and it may be sunny as hell from where you're at on the ground, but as soon as you climb up the mountain, the climate changes, and you can see bear tracks, and you can eat berries that grow from the shrubs. Honestly, really delicious berries. I didn't die, so I know that they're not poisonous. So yeah, it was just really awesome, guys. It was a really awesome experience. Again, the blessing came from the experience, the money, meeting Mr. Juan Gotti. The money came just in time because my wife was about to give birth, so it came just in time. And the curse was that I realized how much I was downplaying myself and how little I was valuing myself. And now that I don't work there, I can't say that I'm a lot happier because I love making sushi. I consider myself very good at what I do. If any of y'all had my sushi, you know what I'm talking about. But I certainly don't miss being told what to do, my ideas being ignored. It really hurts you as a person, and it lowers your morale. You start not caring. And when you have a passion for something, it's something that you don't want to do. You don't want to grow hate for whatever it is that you're doing. Whether you're washing a car, whether you're sweeping, whether you're cleaning, whether you're a janitor, an executive, a doctor, whatever you do, guys, just remember to do it with love and passion. And I'm not being a hypocrite about it. I'm being honest to God. Because if y'all know me personally, some time ago, I was still on very heavy drugs. I was still doing crack. I was doing a lot of pills. Alcohol was never a choice, but when it came down to it, I was in a dark spot that I didn't care what it was at the end. I was just, hurting myself. I was destroying myself. And now I want to thank God, and I really want to thank each and every one of you tuning in. This episode was really awesome, and I hope you guys enjoyed just so much as I enjoyed making it. But thanks, guys, and here at Shattered Candy, you already know what it is. Awesome.